Where have you been?
Hi, it's been a while. How are you? I'm having a crisis. I played Sekiro recently and just been having the hardest time deciding what I want to say here. Mostly because I don't know what hasn't been said about Souls games by now.
This is brilliant, but I like this.
They're in this really weird place where they're considered these true, hardcore, gamer-ass games, and yet they're also some of the most mainstream stuff on the market. This game won the Normie Awards and sold 5 million copies, both of which surprised me, because I think they still have the wrong reputation. I'll tell somebody... Oh, there's the office phone! This is staying in. He's still in the meeting. Can we get you back? Where were we? Okay, I got this. I got this. Because I think they still have the wrong reputation. I'll tell someone, hey, Bloodborne is my favorite game of last gen, you gotta try it. And they'll be like, whoa buddy, those games are too hard for me. It's all about the distinction between, hey, that's just not my cup of tea, and I'm too scared to try hard games because I'm a little baby bitch. And this is not a video where I tell you Souls games are secretly easy and you're just an idiot if you don't like them. Because despite what anyone says, yeah, Sekiro is a hard game. But it's also not too hard for you if you actually want to play it. Because no game is.
What do I always say? Anyone can cook.
Well, yeah, anyone can. That doesn't mean that anyone should.
Well, that is not stopping him. See?
What is he doing? No!
I'm not seeing enough movement!
I get it, dying is annoying. Not everyone thinks it's fun to get fucked by the albino ape. Maybe it's just me. But what is fun is when you finally beat that asshole and pound him into the ground after 3 hours of his... This game takes patience. It takes a lot of patience, and even more patience to fight Jabulba's purple ass. Yeah, this is why it's tough but fair. But that's exactly the point. You get out what you put in. The satisfaction comes from learning how to pilot the shinobi. And unfortunately, that makes the beginning the worst part of the game. I think the starting zone is a little bland and overwhelming, and you have no clue what the fuck you're doing, and dying to the grunts does not feel good.
What will you learn? That your actions have consequences!
I finally made it past Dirty Dan, but when I couldn't even beat the general, I just kinda sizzled out.
You're on the wrong website, buddy.
The same thing happened to me with Bloodborne, so clearly I didn't learn my lesson. I respected what was there, but it didn't click. And until it does, you might as well be playing Mario without jumping. It wasn't until I came back, months later, that I stumbled into the secret sauce. Because you will not appreciate Sekiro until you fight the grandma. Most Souls games can feel a little stiff. You're a knight or a hunter, so that's fine. You're not really doing kickflips up in King Arthur's court, although I would be very interested. And this is where the flavor of being a ninja game is just the perfect fit.
Hey, yo, do a bar spin! Yes! Sick! That was sick, bro.
This is what I thought we'd be doing in 2009. But hey, at least someone finally got it right. Someone at Activision must have made sure that the verticality got in, dude. Because the level design makes my head spin. I think I'm going out of bounds sometimes. Everything is so open and freeing. Yo, was that the famous jet shot? And by taking out most of the RPG, the focus is able to shift to your mechanics. We get that much closer to Metal Gear Rising. That is high praise. And up until Lady Butterfly, you're kinda fighting the status quo, right? These bigger, heavier dudes. Yo, the matriarch doesn't give a fuck. because she's actually just Spider-Man, and this is actually just Naruto. Anyone who's played those shitty anime games knows they never capture the feeling you get when Zoro does anything. This game did it. You have these incredibly imposing bosses with some of the fastest but slickest animations I've ever seen. There's such a speed to these duels, I'll get into the flow and legit forget to breathe because I'm that locked in. Games with QuickTime events wish their fights looked this good, and you're doing all of it. No way, dude. I just fought a giant ape, and he strangled my Kubi. What a small world, dude. What a coincidence. What are the odds? Looks like someone's hotboxing Mibu Village again. My man's in here working on his beats. Nothing personal, dude. I just didn't catch the invite. And this is what I mean. If you see this footage and think it looks dope, because it is, don't be afraid to try it out. The only thing you need to get into this game is the desire. You would be surprised how many people think this isn't the type of game for them simply because of the dickheads. But if you're going to try a hard game, these two are some of the most rewarding, and for different reasons, which is really nice. This game even lets you revive. Like, think about how accessible of a feature that is. I see a lot of people out there with these very utilitarian takes that a game is only as good as its challenge, just a set of rules to be beaten. And while that can be more important in some instances than others, I just think that is the shallowest way to judge all games. And I think it's important to decouple this idea if we're ever going to embrace everything they have to offer. A game like Sekiro has to be hard though, because that's the point. The game is about overcoming the odds, and everything is in service of that. It's a lot like a roguelike in that you're supposed to die. That's how the game is teaching you organically. But so many of us are embarrassed about failure. There's this insecurity in needing to learn. How fucking shitty is that? And why do we care in the first place? Especially in a game that's about celebrating self-improvement. What is it that we're so afraid of? I was that kid who tried every sport and extracurricular out there. I played a total of 6 instruments and have a complete collection of MVP trophies, despite never scoring a goal in my career. My family and I were determined to find the activity that was right for me, and that's actually a huge regret of mine, because I never stuck with anything long enough to get good at it. Natural talent is overrated. I didn't practice hard because if I sucked, then it wasn't meant to be. That was my defense mechanism, and that was the opposite mindset to have, and frankly disrespectful to the kids who actually put the work in. I didn't lose because they were better than me. They were better than me because they actually tried, and it took me way too long to understand that. It's a mistake I will never make again, and it starts with knowing what you want. I want a YouTube channel. I always have, but been too insecure to ever admit it. I want to talk about games, and I do not care how new or popular they are. In a world where everyone seems miserable, this is what actually makes me happy. I want to show people why this stuff is cool, and if it's something new to you, then that's even better. I think the scariest part about actually trying is the fear that your best isn't good enough, that other people will laugh at you for stepping out of line. But that's the only way to get better. I am done being too afraid to do what I want. I don't know who needs to hear this right now, but life is too short not to try. A game like Sekiro feels impossible, but it's the moment where you start to make progress, where you see it all unravel. I would be so proud of every little victory. Like, I would take one step forward to the next area and feel like a fucking god. And you just can't fake that feeling. That's the magic. There are so many totally valid reasons to not be interested in this game. Nothing is universal, and no matter how popular something is, it's okay if it's not your cup of tea. But being afraid that you're not good enough to even find out is not one of those reasons. A famous philosopher once told me, "It ain't about how fast I get there. It ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's the climb." Every milestone is a victory worth celebrating. Every step forward is its own reward. And no matter where you are on this journey, I'm rooting for you. Because if you want something, you better start trying.
Congratulations! 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 Quack, quack! Congratulations! 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 Congratulations!
Like, I am a god. Everybody says, who does he think he is? I just told you who I thought I was. A god. I just told you. That's who I think I am.